Welcome back, guys. My name is Tim LaPointe, and I'm a videographer that helps churches and nonprofits tell their stories through video. And today's video is the second video in a series on how to film a testimony video. So if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss the rest of this series. And if you missed last week's video on how to plan for filming a testimony video, be sure to go check it out. As church storytellers, our job is not just to tell stories, but to do it in an engaging way that connects with our congregation. And so B-roll is a great way to add engagement to your video. Now, let's start off with the basic question. What is B-roll? Well, to put it simply, B-roll is supporting footage for your story. And where the term comes from is the film days, where editors would literally cut film and they would have their primary roll of footage, which was their A-roll, and they would stack their secondary roll or their B-roll. They would stack that on top of their A-roll. So when you're making a testimony video, you can make one with just your A-roll. It's possible, and I've done it. Sometimes we've had deadlines or just logistics where we couldn't line it up. We didn't have enough time to get B-roll, but it's not ideal, and here's why. First, B-roll itself is part of the story. It can help emphasize something that the person is talking about, or B-roll can make a point of its own. And I'll give you an example. We had the privilege of interviewing a cancer survivor at our church, and one of the B-roll clips that we got was her tying up her headscarf. And it was so much more powerful, not just to hear her talk about chemotherapy, but to see that shot over it and show her daily routine. It added so much more emphasis and more connection to the video. Dad joke of the day: what did the country singer call his road paving company? Guitar. Second, and this is just practical, but B-roll can save you in the edit. If you don't have B-roll, you don't have anything to cut to. You might have a second camera angle, but sometimes that's not enough. If your subject is stuttering through a sentence or struggling to get through what they're trying to say, B-roll can help you in a major way. Let's say your subject says, I really believe that God has shown up in an incredible way through this experience. And I'm not mocking anybody who stumbles through a sentence. Trust me, I stumble through sentences all the time. I'm just saying that B-roll can do magical things to that sentence. Here's an example. I really believe that God has shown up in an incredible way through this experience. I really believe that God has shown up in an incredible way through this experience. So you can see that B-roll can save you in a big way in the edit, because you can cut out those stutters, those uhs, those ums, and you can cover them up with B-roll, and nobody would even know that those uhs, ums were even there. I'm a firm believer that God gives each one of us a unique story, not just to keep to ourselves, but to tell and share with others. And B-roll as church storytellers is just one way that we can increase the excellence of how we're telling stories. We can tell stories in a more engaging way, in a way that better connects with our congregation. So in next week's video, we're going to talk about what kind of B-roll should you get for your testimony video. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. I'll see you next week.